4th and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Now, got to give the offensive line some credit. Got to give them some credit. As I said, once again, you got to forgive me. Now, PFF, they have or going to be coming out with, I do believe, the grades for the players after each game for these preseason. I just checked; it's too soon. Probably might be either Monday or maybe tomorrow. I'll go look and find out. I'll keep an eye out on that to see when they come out with the grades for the players, how the guys, they're blocking grades and all that stuff and everything. How that worked. PFF graded them. I said it's just the one thing is I do apologize because a lot of times, when I'm seeing the guys walking up to the line, and all I'm seeing is the row of guys. It's kind of tough. I can maybe see the one tackle, maybe what his number is and stuff. It was very difficult to pick out. A lot of times to pick out who was on the offensive line for the Giants, right? Because the Buffalo Bill announcers, it is what it is, but they didn't announce. If a Giant play. If a Luminor went out and Hudson came in for him, you didn't know that. You had to try to figure it out on your own. If you listen to Bob Papa or Paul Dottino, who had the call on the Fan, I believe it was, they probably, if Luminor went out and Hudson came in and took his spot, or Schlottman came in for a JMS or something like that, well, you would hear that from those guys. You weren't hearing that from the Buffalo Bills. So I had to kind of, it was very difficult to try to figure out sometimes who was in there at all. Or when somebody came in and somebody went out. I didn't know because the Buffalo Bill announcers didn't do that at all. Right. But I mean, you got to give them a lot of credit. Now, to be fair, the running game was nothing super duper spectacular, but let's not forget, right? Andrew Thomas was not in there, right? Scatterboo was not in there. Okay, so a couple of our better players were not in there. We only averaged, like a little over 3 yards a carry. Nothing, not very good at all. But there was no continuity. I mean, you had guys coming in and coming, I mean, you had a guy, the tackle, then you had a guard, then you had a center, and then maybe somebody else's, somebody Stinney would go out and somebody come in and take his place. And there was no continuity whatsoever. Right. Which is something which is absolutely huge. The more you play together, the continuity, if you're allowed to, if you're lucky enough, if you guys can stay healthy, we get the same 5 guys on the field all the time. Right, that's huge, absolutely huge. But I mean, there was none of that. But so the running game was not super duper spectacular. But the Giants wound up throwing the ball 51 times. Right now, we didn't give up a sack, hardly gave up a hit. Really, hardly gave up a hit. Let me see. Once again, this is ESPN. Okay, now I believe they have this. They should have the stats. Let's see. Box score. Okay, does this have it right here? Let's see here. Yeah, okay. What do we got here? My God, a lot of guys got it. Okay, so there was it 7? No? 7 pass. That was another one of the things. Now, there's something that quite possibly might need to be worked on, right? Is trying to maybe, we had a lot of passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage, a lot of batted balls. There was one of them, I think, Dart hit. Threw a ball, went up in the air, and the linebacker just got there just half a second too late. The ball did bounce on the ground. I thought it was an interception at first, but it wound up bouncing on the ground. The ref said an incomplete pass because it hit the ground. but we had a lot of balls that got batted, a lot of them. But let's see, what do we have here? Let's see. Okay, sacks, there was none, and there was 6 quarterback hits. Not one sack, 51 pass attempts, 51, not one sack. 6 quarterback hits. Now, I don't know how many hurries there were, or this or that. Right? It doesn't say that. But 6 quarterback hits. Pretty damn good. You know, our best offensive lineman was not out there. You had a mishmash of talent, guys going in and going out and all of that. I mean, now, once again, also a lot of this stuff is very vanilla, right? It was just like with the Giants on their defense. It's the same thing with Buffalo. Yeah, for the most part, everything's just very vanilla. All right, they're not showing no exotic blitzes or anything like that. They leave that obviously for the regular season. I'm not saying they don't blitz or anything, but they keep a lot of the stuff very plain, right? But I mean, there was guys were being sent from Buffalo. Guys were blitzing. We were picking them up. I mean, how many times have you seen in the past where you feel bad sometimes for Daniel Jones, but he'll drop back in the pocket and the guy's just coming scot-free and just cleans his clock, right? Didn't happen this time. Everybody had a man on man, and they got a good pass rush. I mean, Bosa was in there. Right, so got to give the offensive line 51 passing attempps, not one sack. Very, very good. As I said, we had almost 400 yards of offense. We had the ball. How long do we have the ball for? Let's see. I know at one time in the beginning we had a large time of possession. We had for 36 minutes. They had it for 23. We had a 36-19. They had it for 23-41. So we had it for 36 minutes. So they had close to 24 there, but we had it for 36 minutes. We wound up with 21 first downs. All right. And the other nice thing, we didn't get one first down by way of penalty. So every first down that we got, we earned it. It wasn't like there was a holding penalty on the defense or roughing the passer or a face mask or something like that maybe kind of gave maybe an automatic first down or something like that. There was none of that. Every first down that we got, we earned. 15 by the way of pass, 6 by way of run. We got 21 first downs. We had almost 400 yards of offense. And we had the ball for 36 minutes. Now, I said the only one thing that you can kind of, we averaged 6.2 yards per pass attempt. Not too bad. We had a couple deep shots, but early on, like with Russell Wilson out there, it was just like, it was just like you getting the ball back. Like we didn't have a tight end running the flat, like 3 yards, and he throw it off that. We had a lot of short passes in the beginning. So there wasn't a lot of it real deep, but all in all, you got that's if this was what was it? If this was 2 years ago, when we had all those sacks 2 years ago, 85 sacks, whatever it was we gave up. So we're coming a long way, baby. That doesn't mean next against the Jets or whatever, we won't give up 6 sacks. I hope not, but we look really good this weekend. Really, all in all, things really, look pretty darn good. My biggest thing is that second and third string defense. We got to do some cleaning up there because there were some guys that were running scot-free. So.